cast it from replays straight up afterwards. So just getting that set and ready as we kick off into this best of 3 right now. Here, this is our PvP, our final PvP of the day, as we do have to the upper right hand side the blue Protoss player, Creator from Generic Green Wings. He's going up against the red Protoss player from Team Liquid to the top bottom left hand side of Blackpink, MaNa. And straight up and simply, by the way, the winner of this series advances through this group in second place. So, winner of this series goes through the group. The loser will be eliminated. It is as simple as that. No questions asked, no shenanigans, nothing crazy. Doesn't matter about map score. Map score can come into play because if Keen loses to Puck, there is kind of a possible tiebreaker by map score, which could come into play. So you could finish first place in the group if you win this series effective with a good scoreline. But let's talk about that later. For now, the most important thing is if you win this series, you are through the group, into the quarterfinals, into the playoffs, and the entirety of the playoffs, guys, play tomorrow. We start at 1 PM CEST, same time as today, and we'll be going through a whole bunch of these games. We'll be casting 2 of the quarterfinal matchups, as well as both the semifinals and the grand finals. So 2 best of 3s and 3 best of 5s, and then maybe even finish the day with a couple of best of 3s from replays after as well. That's our plan for the day. Tomorrow, that is. So all exciting in that regard, as we are getting ourselves set up here and looking to see what will happen over the next few moments. Now that's something I need to stop saying as well. Look to see what's happening over the next few moments, guys. I need to cut that out of my vocabulary. I say that so much, it's insane. I know it as well. I know it as well, you know, I just still say it. It's difficult to change your vocabulary so sometimes and to stop using words that you're kind of very accustomed to using so that it's not too repetitive, I suppose. There's a couple of Stalkers on the way up, Warp Gate on the way from both players at the moment. Obviously we've seen a little bit of MaNa and Creator's PvP so far today, and I have to say Creator's PvP was very defensive, very standardized. MaNa definitely getting very aggressive with some of his builds, especially that Warp Prism kind of triple gateway play. In the other PvP that we saw with Creator, we actually saw him playing very defensively, actually, I suppose, and he actually defended against a full gate attack very effectively. He defended against... The other game was he did macro, and he just sort of got ahead, and he stayed ahead with some good movements of his army, so it's been a pretty fun day to watch the PvPs, and this is going to be our last PvP of the day. And again, we'll cast Creator versus Puck. Sorry, Puck versus Keen. God, I'm just terrible right now. Puck versus Keen will be our final series of the day coming out after this. Again, that's being played live now. We'll cast from replays. We're just working to make things as simple as possible for the players involved and just wrapping their days up a little bit earlier so that we don't have a couple players having to wait right now. It's just a little bit about making it better for them after we did have that confusion earlier on. Now we do have 2 Adepts and 2 Stalkers are currently shading down after these couple of Stalkers of MaNa, which are running all the way away as fast as possible. MaNa's going to continue coming up towards the upper right hand side with a couple of his Adepts, and as they pop forwards, I mean, Creator has to pull up to the high ground. He's got this probe here to block off those Adepts from getting access to the base. MaNa with a shield battery will win this fight if it happens, and so that's why Creator just backs away in this scenario. And he does build that pylon, or it's actually a shield battery here, as expected. He even turns around his Oracle from the Stargate to start working his way through this. Now interestingly, Stargate against Stargate, and MaNa went into the Phoenix production right away, so he already has 2 Phoenix on the map, while Creator is just about to finish his first. It's a small advantage for MaNa here, and that could go a long way for him in the near future. A second Stargate already, as MaNa, obviously he saw the Oracle, so he knows already, even though he didn't see the Stargate, he knows it's Phoenix versus Phoenix, so he knows to start the second Stargate already. Now Creator flying in with the Oracle, well, he just has to suicide this, by the way, because there's no way he's going to get any, you know, there's no way he's going to stay alive against the Phoenix, so he may as well just jump in and just go from there, as we are going to be seeing the Phoenix coming out in towards the center. What's going on? What's the noise? Especially that Warp Prism kind of triple gateway play. I don't hear any noise. You guys really complain about sound so much lately, and every time I go and listen, I just don't hear it. Whether I just, like... I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on right now in the chat. But, anyways, I'll just keep casting because I don't hear a noise, and now other people are saying, what noise? So I feels like I've just been trolled. Anyways, second Stargate coming up from Creative, but so much later now. The shield battery, though, well, that's one way to lose your advantages. MaNa, he does get 1 Phoenix for the 2, but obviously that's not a good trade. It does reset him to 4 Phoenix against 3, so he's still in a slight advantage here. Just needs to be so careful with this 1 Phoenix that it does get away. Oh, he loses a couple of workers to this depth over here. So he loses a couple of workers, and again, Creator just staying ahead here and there on the worker count. I'm just going to be seeing those Phoenix coming all the way back in towards the main base right now. So Phoenix back in towards the main, and just going to be seeing Creator continue to gather together. A couple more Phoenix on the way up, and we are just going to be seeing a couple pros being built on either side. Both of these players will just continue building Phoenix for a little while, though. Again, Creator has the slight eco advantage, but I mean, is it enough to be really substantial here? Probably not too substantial. Little things like being able to take the third base a little bit faster here, taking that down to the right hand side is definitely something which can start up nice and quickly. As we are going to be seeing the Phoenix Cans obviously keep it on going. Having a third Nexus faster allows you these extra gases faster, which allows you maybe an extra Stargate, and then you win the Phoenix War. Then when you win the Phoenix War, you win every other war in this game. And you might be thinking as well, I guess we should maybe address this. Why do you see Phoenix versus Phoenix like this if you have Stargate against Stargate? So, by setting up into this, these Phoenix are just gathering up together. Basically, the reason you have this is that once you have Stargate versus Stargate, if one player builds Phoenix and you don't, you're naturally going to be behind because of how much the Phoenix will get done. And if you stop building Phoenix after you've started building Phoenix, you are going to lose the Phoenix fight. If you lose the Phoenix fight, these Phoenix will then lift up everything on the ground, and then you also lose the ground fight. So it's really this kind of mess of a matchup, really, where you kind of have to keep building Phoenix until way late in the game, where suddenly you can just afford to add a bunch of Archons in right from the get-go. Now this is really nice. Just pops off 9 workers, and he recalls away. That's really cool. He loses 1 Phoenix. That's something I've not actually seen before in Phoenix versus Phoenix. The recall back after a, after just diving in for some damage like that. That's very nicely done. There is a white noise, but it's not really that annoying. I am going to do some testing of my sound setup later, guys, because a lot of people, I know there is some little noises and stuff that's around. I don't know how to fix it, honestly. I'm just going to completely reset my sound setup and hopefully get it fixed, because I know it is very annoying. I appreciate it can be there, but I didn't think it was going to be that crazy. Anyways, hopefully it's going to be okay. Hopefully I can get it fixed up. I really don't know what it might be. I mean, obviously it's something like microphone focus, but I mean, is it just XSplit? Or what? Like, it's very hard to know without actually just going through everything and testing everything one by one. So I'm going to test everything later, guys. I'm hoping it's going to be fixed for tomorrow. I don't know what else to tell you. So for now, please just put up with it if it's an issue. And the Impulse Crystal's coming through an extra Stargate, and again, those benefits of already having the third base up are starting to be very apparent for Creator. He's up 15 workers as he saturates this third, and MaNa is just so much later on this. And that is the real benefit of just having had the economy lead slightly earlier in this game. Now MaNa's getting his own Impulse Crystals, but with a Mothership coming up, now MaNa's going to have to make sure he has detection to take these fights as well. And that's going to be awkward because he doesn't have a Robo Facility, he doesn't have the ability to make an Observer. So he has to rely on, well, maybe just killing the Mothership, but that's so much Phoenix kind of damage time that's going to be lost out on. And that really will hurt here, as we are going to be having these Phoenix continue to move around. They're going to be coming off over to the right-hand side and getting ready to push on in towards the third base in the next few moments. A couple of pylons, a cannon on the way up. And these Phoenix are going to start diving in towards this mineral line, finding themselves a chunk of probes already. 1 Phoenix goes down, though. A little bit of back and forth there. Coming back in, MaNa will just try for another shot or so, but not quite finding too much else. Just going to be seeing a whole bunch of these Phoenix continue to come on through. Sorry, I just had to resume the game over on the other game that's going on. For some reason I'm the referee, which is why I fell silent for a moment. +1 air weapons is here for MaNa, so that is an advantage which he has in the Phoenix fights that isn't otherwise there. So that is an interesting one. I mean, he's 20 Phoenix against 20 Phoenix. Let's see what MaNa can do with the +1 advantage. The Phoenix start a skirmish. Both have Anion Pulse Crystals, aka they both have that extra range on the Phoenix, which goes a long way. Lifts up a Stalker or two. Shots start going down again. Zealots underneath are not really doing much apart from maybe threatening to do something a little bit crazy as, oh, the mothership arrives and MaNa has to back away. He's actually just going to GG at that point. He was already a little bit behind. He was already trailing slightly. Something that you do get from subscribing is the replay packs. And the replay pack just went out the other day, so if you're interested in getting your hands on it, it is available to subscribers in our sub-Discord channel, and you can get that for just the cost of a subscription, very cheap. And it gives you 200 plus replays, and you'll get more replays in the future as well. Just top left hand side, we kick off into game 2 with our blue Protoss player, Creator. Going up against the red Protoss on the bottom right hand side from Team Liquid, MaNa. Again, guys, if you're looking for Keen versus Puck, it is happening on the Russian streams, and we will cast it from replays afterwards. Please, no spoilers in the chat for Keen versus Puck, because we do want to kind of give you a spoiler-free experience. So if you're just watching this stream and you don't want to know the score and you want to watch it spoiler-free from the replays with me when I cast it after this series, please keep it spoiler-free in the chat, guys. So just a heads up. Obviously, we can only hope for the good guys in the chat to... or not spoil it, but please, we hope that you don't, so that we can enjoy it as a spoiler-free series. Setting up here then, Creator is going to be moving out onto the map with this probe. Going to be coming across down to the south side, as we have got the probe of MaNa coming in towards the upper left. Now this is the map where sometimes MaNa has gone very aggressive. He has made the warp prism and the gateways and all of the stalkers. So let's see what he can do this time around. Let's see if he goes with something aggressive like this time around, or if he has other plans here in terms of what he maybe wants to try and achieve. So, for now, probe continuing towards the bottom right, and as it pops up the ramp, he's going to be seeing a couple of gates. Obviously not really much to see at the moment, but he kind of delays the tech from coming down from MaNa unless he wants to build it in full view of that probe. So, you know, just kind of force the tech delay until an adept comes out and actually shuts the probe down. And it's the same on the other side. You know, these guys are both here and they're both like, okay, well, either you show me what you build or you delay what you build just a little bit, which is kind of fine. I mean, once the cyber core's done, the money goes into a couple of stalkers, so it doesn't really slow too much down a crazy amount. It's all very standard in that regard, at least. Pro going to move back out onto the map and see what's coming up next. Robo facility drops down from Creator here in the main base, so Robo dropping down, and we are going to be having MaNa just continue to set up. A few stalkers coming out, and this probe of MaNa just having to call and just kind of have to pull away. Robo facility on the way up on each side of the map, and well, so far they're matching each other, and this is what MaNa likes to do. The Robo, one more gateway, and he goes for this big all-in attack in the next few moments, probably, as we're going to be seeing the setup here continuing. Well, what's so interesting is that this is exactly how Puck set up against this, right? He made the Robo very early, he got an Immortal out. Let's see if it's going to be enough as Creator. What does he build initially? It's probably in his main. That has to be an Immortal, right? Yes, an Immortal. Chrono boosts here. It's almost as though Creator wants to get aggressive against this, so I'm very interested, because I haven't seen MaNa lose with this build yet so far, so maybe this is it. It's really unfortunate that it feels as though every time he does it, he seems to kind of come up against a blind counter. He will win this fight. He'll keep a Stalker alive when his opponent will lose one, although he actually then brings it back into the fight, which loses out. We're just going to be seeing these couple of Stalkers still moving around in the center of the map. I mean, Creators are still dodging away, jiving away from MaNa's army at the moment. And we are going to see those Stalkers just continue to set up here on the edge of the natural. As more Stalkers warp in, the Prism has to just lift them up, and here we go, going across. But now we see again from Creator, I mean, he's going to put his Warp Prism onto the Immortal, so he is going to lift up the Immortal. If Creator moves across the map, I mean, MaNa is poised to attack more quickly, and that will give him the opportunity, maybe, of just being that little bit more kind of better off in an attack like this. He's sending the Immortal across the map. That is not what he needs right now. MaNa is going to stop for long enough to warp in units, and that's going to be so amazing for him. Creator is going to be so out of position, and MaNa, with the 11 Stalkers is just going to run right on in. Shield battery, so what? You don't have any units here. And MaNa can just go straight up the ramp, and I mean, already killing the pylon here, for example, is going to be huge. Killing the pylon on the 2 gateways is huge. MaNa's already set up to warp in. He comes forwards, and there's the Immortal. And now we're going to see this fight as we've seen it before. Targets both the Immortal or the Warp Prism at any different point in time. Does lose a shot or two because he targets the Immortal and jumps up into the Prism, though. He actually loses quite a few Stalkers, and somehow Creator has found his way back home and able to fight this. MaNa now warps in to try and help out. Stalkers continue to micro, and the Warp Prism is going to be hugely influential. The Warp Prism's on these fights. Warp Prism goes down, but the Immortal survives the shot, and so that is important. Immortal's still alive here. MaNa backing away, knowing he probably needs another warp in to keep on fighting, but Creator is coming out of this with a Nexus in his favor. That's going to be massively favorable, as we're going to be seeing another Immortal on the way out in the next couple of moments. So right now MaNa is kind of like in this do or die position. Immortal has its barrier up again as well, which soaks up just that little bit of extra damage, which might make the difference. The lack of a Prism does give MaNa the micro advantage in this fight, which is something, and you can see Creator moving forward to try and target that Prism down. Continue to fight here. These few sentries are actually going to take some damage. Obviously the sentries were warped in way earlier in this game to try and get something done, and MaNa is still trying to make this work, but Creator has just had the control be just good enough to help him out in this, and to make it, for now, again, good enough to kind of keep alive. Another couple of force fields and Stalkers keep on dropping, and this is really looking as though it might be just a little bit too troubling for MaNa. MaNa is pushed all the way away. I mean, now he's making an Immortal, now he's making a Sentry. It's one of these setups where it's almost as though he's like, okay, well, I mean, you can't possibly just expand, right? Off of the expansion, that's so much sooner for Creator. But can you, I mean, at the same time, can you also justify just going for one more attack and just trying to win it with that attack? I guess it makes sort of sense for MaNa to just... I guess he does just try and expand. I think in a more macro-focused game, there's more chances of MaNa coming back into it, rather than in a game where he just tries to attack and it's all on this one attack and all Creator has to do is defend, when he already has a good defensive setup, right? So I think for MaNa, expanding is the right choice. It's just no choice is really going to be an amazing choice, although he is going to just pull units out, so he's just trying to fake the expand. I actually, now that I've talked myself into it, I'm still behind maybe expanding. Yes, he's going to be behind, but this attack is going to be very questionable. Although I guess with a Twilight Council coming down, that's investment here from Creator, which is not really looking as though, you know, he's going to be able to use it in a fight. I mean, you've got to remember that Creator sort of thinks MaNa's expanding right now, and if he thinks that, there's definitely that sort of possibility of Creator just not dealing with this attack properly, not having warped in more units. He didn't start another Immortal until just now. Now he sees the lack of an expand. He realizes that MaNa is just going to get aggressive once again. Here you go, unit's going to start moving forwards at the front, and reducing the Prism here from Creator for the micro. 46 to 41 army supply, extra shield battery start, already one shield battery here, loses the Prism, so again, micro potential disappears. A couple of force fields do get dropped, and MaNa, well, he can micro himself. He actually moves his Immortal to the right side of the force fields to be able to attack a little bit more, but he's losing so much damage output on a lot of these units in the back, and that's so painful. Creator knows that his opponent has no expansion, so all he has to do here is really survive, and that's why the probes come pulling in so quickly. However, MaNa has killed off the Immortal. New Immortal arriving, MaNa still has the advantage in Immortal count. 2 more shield batteries though, and that might just be the difference maker. I mean, 2 shield batteries were healing up all this time. It's not over yet, as MaNa's going to keep on diving on forwards. He doesn't have a lot to work with, but what he does is still very powerful. This Immortal's going down very quickly. It gets towards a shield battery just in time. MaNa now gets rid of it, but his own Immortal's going to be in trouble. He stops microing because he knows it's over. GG, well played. Creator will advance out of this group alongside Keen.